All right, enter the Cave of Wonders. Anyway, it's been a while since I did any updates, so I got my base. Did a drill press through a 2x4 or section 2x4, drilled a hole, and got my pole. Fits in there pretty good, pretty level. And then plan is I'll wrap some wiring up. What did I do with that? Oh, I left something out in the shop. Anyway, wrap this up with the light, or I may use the old light that came with the globe. I don't know. And then I got to basically just fill this with, well, not fill it, but put some more epoxy under here. And I got some open caverns for wiring and this stuff, Light Genie stuff. So anyway, boards. That's the word I'm looking for. Wherever my Light Genie board went. Oh, this is it. It's pretty small. It'll fit anywhere. So I got the D-mast off here. Working on nacelles. I got the nacelles all sanded down nice and smooth on the inside. And then the plan is to run a light like this on this section. So I'm going to glue top and bottom together. I got my holes in here for fishing some nano or whatever the heck they are, really small LEDs that I ordered. I had these. These are nanos. Picos is what I got, and they're even smaller. And they'll fit all the way through that hole. I can fish it through after this is together. Paint everything, fish it through, fish it all the way to the front. Put all the connections at the front, and then stuff the connections in this bar probably. But anyway, this is a longer version of the bar that will end up just going through there. These are the guides. They'll guide it, and that'll be the stop on it. And then it sits in there all nice and pretty, and it's nice and light, and I already had it. I already had this aluminum bar, so I said, fuck it, might as well use it. So I've already tested it out. It lights up really good. Hold on, let's see. Okay, so I know this is white, and it's way brighter on camera than it is, but that is plenty of light for those. Both sides. Back, you know, it's a little crooked in there, but whatever. So you get it. So that'll just slide in after it's painted and light it up. Obviously I got to black it out. I got, in the meantime, I got this all blacked out on the bottom. Painted a couple spray cans of adhesion promoter, black, and then a gray, and then this is the blue I was originally going to spray the hull with, but I'm not going to use a spray can because I don't want it to ruin all the details. So I thought it important to black out the back side so I'm not struggling with layers and layers of paint. So yeah. So there's where that's at. Pretty exciting times in the Galaxy Man studio for me. So, I got the sniffles today. Not sure why. And then I haven't unmasked. Well, I unmasked that and then I masked it off again because I'm working on all the little windows. So this is how I'm figuring out where the windows go, because obviously I can mask these and probably see on the inside where they are. But this section I couldn't mask. So over here, what I did, there's a low spot I was trying to get rid of, but I can't. It is a garage kit. Okay, so here's what I'm talking about. So when I have this on top of here. So what I did was I used some of my transfer tape that I bought for vinyl. I stuck it on here. I marked out all the windows that are going to be lit as close as I could get from reference, right? Because a lot of the reference shows this really good and this really good, and this really good, but the side I kind of had to extrapolate. So it's close. I'm really weird about that, about this D. When I did my D back when I was a kid, I tried to make all the windows the same kind of thing where they were exactly where the studio model was. So forgive me for my analness. So I did all that, and then the plan is, because from the back side, now obviously I got this piece on here, but from the back side you cannot see the windows. So when I did the lower section, I took this and I lined it up. I lined up markers. I lined up center points and I lined up navigation, because those are my constants. And I sticked this on, and then I actually went and cut out all the sections. So over here, I know I'm moving all around. So that's how I masked that section off. So only the areas that are lit. Now I'm getting a little more detailed in here because this is going to have a lot of light in it. The sucky thing about this is the undercuts here to get these windows masked or lit from the back. I'm probably going to have to leave like a very large section. Same with back here. I'm going to have to leave a large section for light to emit. So hopefully I can pull that off. The beautiful thing about the way I'm doing this is I'm still going to be able to access, because this is going to be the way the model is. I'm going to be able to access all of under here for lighting, and all of on top of here for lighting and touch up and all sorts of stuff. So I want it so that the entire thing is, this entire piece is painted. Of course, I still have to add this to it, but that's fine. The entire thing is painted, ready to go, and then I light it. I don't have to bury lights inside and hope to God that they work. I know I've talked about that before. So I did get these shuttle bays in here. I know you can't see them, but I got these in here. Came out good. Kind of got figured out where all the windows are going to go there. I got the windows figured out here. I got some touch-ups around the neck. I'm getting kind of excited. And then I'll keep these templates so that I remember where the windows were, because I don't want to have to do that all over again. So that's where I'm at. Sorry, I've had a coffee this morning. I'm a little jacked up on caffeine. So I'm going to work on... I had to do a lot of grinding around here to make sure that I can fit the LED in here and still sandwich it. So I think I'm in a pretty good spot. I've pretty much just ground this down to its life of thickness. See, I got quite a ways before I get to the depth. So I only need just like that thickness. I'm going to try and start a line. Basically, I thought I was going to have to go right on top. I'm going to try and start a line in between these two for windows. So it's going to be super bright. So one tape there, one tape there, one tape there. I don't know if that's just going to be too bright, but I know on camera it looks like it's pretty good, but realistically, in person, I noticed on Lou's light output was about here. By the time I got to the front windows, you could barely see them unless it was complete darkness. So, and because of the fact that you have to have the light right up against it here, you can't have the light farther away like this. You just don't have a whole lot of choice. So it'll be different back here. Back here you got a little bit of distance for lights. So anyway, I got some fucking around to do for lights, but I'm trying to grind this. I was trying to grind all this down so I can get it blocked off. And then I'll have room for my lights strip. So anyway, that's where I'm at. Lots moving. Pretty excited. Okay, huge step tonight. A little risky, kind of nervous, but it was time. I had all of the blocking off from inside done as best as I can. Should help me with not having to build up too much paint on this. Got this clamped down, measured out, screwed down on the front, clamped down on the back, center lined out, everything. Taped this off and then pulled the tape. A little bit made a little smushy of it later, but not a big deal. So that is JB welded curing, and then I got a section right about here that I JB welded. I ran a green wire for this on the top part, so I can string a wire. I can do the old electrical trick and run my super thin wire, just tape it to this one and run it through. So that's my plan. She's setting up overnight, and then I got this. This is the inside. Got it all finished, so I got to pull the masking on that and go at it. Go at some final assembly. There's my first test at a ring. Didn't quite have the measurements right, but got the new measurements to the gentleman who's 3D printing this for me. It will not have black lettering. I'm just going to do it all silver. So, still have yet to figure this out. I think I'll just put some red bulbs in there. I have to order some red bulbs anyway. So, that's it for now. All right, just a quickie test with my new LED light that I got. Thinner. Actually, it looks way better on camera than it does in person, but figure if I put the tape right around between these two windows, and then the next one I'll do in between the next two, and so on. It actually lights it up pretty darn good. So I think that'll work, and that just barely fits on the edge. Barely. That's 1 millimeter away from the edge. And then it's just a big enough curve where I can kind of get away with just making it one piece. This is a test piece. It's been on and off a few times. I'll end up probably tacking it down with something. Silicone or something, probably. So, yeah, that's really, really good. Of course, I'd love to have it over top every window, but I just don't have room. And that is pretty darn good right there. Even with the lights on. Even with my shop lights on. That's pretty good. So, cool. Super happy. Little quickie update.